work better off of watching.
It just occurred to me, just as you're saying, really Digimon and hACK should have had their names swapped. Because it would have made a little more sense for a series that is basically based in the fantasy world where programming doesn't really matter as much as some of the grand aura of it, as opposed to a series like Digimon, where the programming actually did matter. And it's like, everyone was like, oh, it's a story with monsters. No, not really. It's actually talking about the construction of computers.
All right. So like I said, this is a multimedia series, and during like the course of this first wave, there were several light novels and manga released. I'll talk about the manga later, but first, these are I think all the light novels that came out. The hACK books over there on the left are basically a retelling of the games, but through another character's point of view. The main character, Black Rose, that goes with the main character, Kite, throughout the whole game, which is pretty interesting because you also get to see what she experiences outside the game, because her brother gets affected by same thing that happens to Tsukasa in the anime. He falls into a coma, and
his consciousness is stuck in the game.
His consciousness is stuck in the game. But unlike Tsukasa, he's disappeared. And they're trying to figure out why he's unconscious like that. Then up there is the hACK AI Buster series, and it's basically takes place kind of like I think between hACK Sign and the games, and it's very interesting because you get it from the point of view of a person that works with the game company, who's also really shady too, and but he doesn't know what's really going on, and he meets this vagrant AI and tries to help her out. What's really interesting about these novels that they also insert pictures periodically to show either some kind of scene or a character doing something. So that's an example of the art that's in it. hACK Zero is actually a good lead up to the second game series and anime series, hACK GU, because there's a certain character in there that leads up to that. It actually hasn't been released here yet, but I think it's coming out later this year finally, for being written I don't know how many years ago. Now, I said there was a manga. It's called Legend of the Twilight Bracelet. However, while all this is really serious business, that is not.
You can just kind of tell.
The series went from that to that in the course of a year.
Well, to be fair, they're not the same characters.
No, those aren't. That's Black Rose.
Yes, the avatars are Black Rose and Kite,
the play characters are the same,
but
not
the actual players aren't the same. There's a reason for that, because Or chose it that way, but
because
I thought it was because they won a contest.
No, it's because the players were like, no, fuck this shit. I really like my old avatar, and now I'm a shitty monster.
But the Legend of the Twilight series had a manga and an anime based off of it. Anime's garbage. Don't ever watch it. It's garbage. It's terrible. It's you want to die. Let's put it this way.
Roberto's just I'll kill anybody who watches it.
These two characters that have Kite and Black Rose's avatars are Shugo and Rena. You will learn their names and they will be ingrained to your skull, because they will say, there's a point where they say to each other back and forth because she's being taken away and stuff. So this is back and forth them just saying their names. However, about maybe 20 times through the 20 episode series, they will replay that scene over and over again, so you will never forget their name. And I watched it in English. I couldn't imagine how high pitched and ear grating it is in Japanese. So just stay away from the anime. It's bad. The manga, however, I hear is much better, but it's really lighthearted rather than serious. But it is much better.
So then which of the two mediums are canon then to the series?
The manga. Anime is not canon whatsoever.
Is that a fact, or is that?
That is official. That is official.
Just making sure.
Roberto's gonna
say something about Legend. I think part of the reason it was probably made was because there are moments of game series, which are definitely wrist-cuttingly sad. They're just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to commit suicide now, because it would be less painful than watching what's going on here. It's just, and the series doesn't let up. It's like you think, oh, this is okay, and then immediately the music will switch back on, which is one of the things I have an issue with the games, which is that the music is not always on for reasons that are not clearly defined. But you know the second the music comes on, you're like, oh, great, something's about to happen. It's going to be a cutscene where I don't get to do anything. And when it's over, I'm going to cry my eyes out. And it's, I'm imagining that Twilight Bracelet was a response to
Yeah,
that.
but I think like they just went a little too overboard for
Yeah,
that.
they went
Roberto,
Yeah.
the words in the .hack mutation to the right, is that
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean major? Oh, I'm sorry. What? No, it's voiced by.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but was that
Angela?
what's her face?
What?
The antagonist, is that?
No, that's this legendary hacker named Helva that kind of helps them out. No, Morgana doesn't have any kind of like face or appearance or anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so technically the .hack series has two projects. .hack, which the .hack project, which went from like 2002 to 2005, and encompasses the games I just talked about and everything else. But from 2006 to 2008-ish, they started the .hack GU project, or the .hack conglomerate, which is, I think they just finished it with all the series they put into it. So you start off with .hack Roots, which is the precursor to the three games. It's like Sign is the precursor to the first .hack series. While they do go back, I'll talk about the anime first. They do go back to it being serious rather than really lighthearted like Legend of Twilight Bracelet was. It's not as good as .hack Sign, even if you didn't really like .hack Sign, because they do a lot of like standing around doing nothing, and that just irks me. And it's a shame that that's pretty much all they do. They first thing sound like, oh, they're gonna go look for something, it's gonna be some kind of really epic like thing, but they stand around doing nothing and don't really do much throughout the whole series until like towards the end.
So it's spawned the animated series. Okay.
Yeah.
How dare you?
The series didn't happen. We do not speak of it.
Wait.
So the GU games are actually just as disappointing as the anime. Whereas the original games, where it has like really basic dungeon crawling as it was, for some reason they took. Best way I could put this, they put every single anime cliche they could find into those three games. Like it's kind of like irritating.
A mother sleeping with her son, is that included as well?
No.
Okay, sure.
But like the whole like, oh, I gotta get stronger, oh, I gotta do this, oh, this footage, I gotta put everything into it.
Are there power
like that
levels?
kind of stuff is in this. What makes no sense is that by the end of .hack Roots, the main character Haseo is like a lunatic. He's like lost it by the end of the show. But as soon as you start the first game, he still has that, but he loses his powers and his levels and stuff, and all of a sudden he's not crazy no more. It's like, what the hell? And then you would think that the games would continue the tone that the anime had. They don't. Like I said, they infused it with everything cliche and horrible.
Who released the game?
Namco Bandai, and it's made by a group called CyberConnect too.
If it was ever released as an MMO, either of the .hack games, it would be horribly unsuccessful.
And I'm glad you brought that up. They actually did try to do an MMO for the original .hack series, and it failed really bad. Never came over here. It was called .hack Fragment. It was really bad. I mean, sure, you can make your own dungeons and stuff, but it was still really bad.
It's
It has
What was it called?
.hack Fragment.
The only thing that held together the first .hack series of games was the story. If it didn't have a story, it wouldn't have even been worth playing. It's kind of long.
Yeah, and the GU series has a horrible story. It's like really
Yeah.
bad. There's like some bright spots, but then
You could say the same.
everything's really bad. Like for some reason, like they have a tournament in each game, from the first one already, you can have
Like Tales of the Abyss, which is a tournament.
like a fighting tournament, like